Hi, this is a video showing you how to play gold, but first I'd like to take a couple minutes and explain to you how I learned how to play gold. I learned it because Glenn the other night was kind enough to show me how, and that video was him doing so. That was my guitar, and he was kind enough to sign it right there, so every time I play it says "Stay True, Glenn." Every time I play it, I can't help but see it, which is really cool. It was really kind of him. And he showed me how. And real quick, I'd like to tell you how that happened. I was in Philadelphia seeing them at the Merriam Theater. If you saw them in Philadelphia, you know, woohoo, make a comment or something. It was an amazing show, right? And I was busking outside of the theater for like 3 hours, from like 3 to 6 before the show. The show started at 8. And if you saw me busking, comment, woohoo. I wanted to get him to sign the guitar and talk to him and stuff. So I was waiting outside the stage door, and Rob and Joe and Cullum and Graham all came out. And they were so cool. Like, I thought it would just be autograph and then see it, but like they actually all just like stayed there and like put their bags down and talked to me. They were very, very nice. The guy that opened, I believe he's called Dove Man, Thomas, really cool guy, really funny too. So Glenn comes out, he's talking to everybody, and I'm like, I want to wait and get him one-on-one, because I got so much to ask him. And so I wait, and he's like, everybody, I got to go back inside, but I'll be back out in a minute. So he goes in, and Mar comes out, and I show Mar. I wanted to show Mar, like she said, hi, I'm Mar, nice to meet you. And I said, well, actually, you know, we met last year at the Ryman. And that's me, the very tall person. I'm 6'10", if you didn't know, by the way. I'm not that tall, though. Glenn thought it would be funny if I stood on the curb. And she's like, oh my gosh, I remember that. And I was like, really? You remember that? She's like, yeah, it was really funny. And I was really surprised that she remembered that. And I told them all I'd be here in New York, where I live, at Radio City Music Hall, January 19th. And I'm going to busk out in front as well. And so I'd see him there. And she's like, okay, see you in New York. And I'm like, wait a minute, where did Glenn go? So I was like, Mara, is Glenn on the bus? And she said, yeah. I was like, well, can I still talk to him? She said, yeah, no problem, I'll have him come out. And so he comes out, no one on the street, but just me and him. Everyone's gone, it's just me and him. And he's like, hey, how's it going? He said, did I see you earlier? Evidently he saw me when I was busking, and I didn't see him. I was talking with someone about once, he said, but he was like, oh, it's really cool, I gotta come back and talk to that guy, but I wasn't there when he came back. And so I was like, oh, it's really cool that he saw me busking, you know, his songs and stuff. And so he's like, you know, what guitar you play? And so I showed him my guitar, and he's like, oh, wow, it's just like mine. I was like, yeah, that's why I got it. He's like, oh, it even has a little hole going and stuff. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, can I see it? I was like, yeah, please, yeah, play it, go ahead. And so he takes it, and he just starts like playing Say It To Me Now and stuff, and just kind of messing around and like tuning it and everything. Just messing around with it, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. And he starts to take it off, you know, take the guitar off. I'm like, how do you play gold? And he's like, oh, gold, okay. Yeah, and he's like, well, you know, it's like open E, but you got to tune it all the way down. You got to tune the G all the way down to the E and stuff. And so then he starts, I mean, you saw it, he starts playing. And I thought that was absolutely awesome. I was like, oh, that's crazy. And so I recorded it. We were talking, like everything I said seemed to be the right thing. I told him how I go to New York Film Academy. He's like, oh, I took a directing program at New York Film Academy, which I was like, what, really? And we were talking about how great the school was, and so I packed up my guitar, and he's like, hey, come have a beer with us. And he's talking about him, and the Frames have come out, and he's like, hey, come have a beer with me and the Frames and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, sure. And so we go, and Glenn buys me a beer, and Colin buys me a beer, and we're just talking about everything, and it was so great. They're introducing me to their friends and stuff. It was crazy. And so I'm going to see them again when they come back here in New York, and I told them beers are on me this time. You know, I owe them. And if you want to hear more about that story, like that's such a condensed version. I'd love to tell you about it because it was great. Because they're such great people. They're absolutely amazing to be able to take the time to do that and stuff, and invite me along. But if you'd like to hear more, email me, and I'll be happy to email you about it. If you're going to be at Radio City Music Hall, let me know as well. And if you want to busk or something, because I'm going to be busking, I don't care how cold it is. But how you play the song, is it's actually really simple. It's really, really simple. It was just a matter of getting the tuning down. And the tuning is it's E, B, E, E, B, E. It's just nothing but E's and B's. So it's like open E for Say It To Me Now, but instead of tuning it up to a G sharp, you tune it down to an E, so it sounds, those two strings sound the exact same. This is actually a half a step up from how my guitar was tuned. My guitar was tuned A sharp, D sharp, A sharp, A sharp, D sharp, A sharp in the video. Because I couldn't get, I was sick, and so I couldn't sing quite as high, so I tuned every song I had down half a step. Alright, I'm going to jump right into it. There's two different progressions in this that are going to be the entire song. So like the rest of this video is going to be like 2 minutes long because the entire song is so simple. The first progression is going to be called progression A, and you have your ring finger on the 4th string and your pinky finger on the 3rd string, okay? And so right now we're on the 4th fret, and it goes up to the 5th fret, and then up to the 7th fret, 2nd fret, 4th fret, and then really quickly, 2nd open. So you play that, that's progression A, so kind of mark that down, and you play that the first time through once, and then the other chord is, remember it's E, B, E, E, B, E? Well, you just have your ring finger on that B and then your pinky finger on the other B. So the 5th string and the 2nd string on the same fret. And for this one he goes 5th fret, 4th fret, 2nd fret, open. So you play through that twice. And then you play progression A again, one time. And then he does this riff. Have your fingers like this on the 7th fret and 9th fret. You can see him doing it in the video as well. It's 9th fret, 1st string, 7th fret, 1st string, 9th fret, 2nd string, 7th fret, 2nd string, and then open. And so when played up to speed, it sounds like. And then he comes over here to the 12th and the 11th fret and goes. Then comes back and plays it again. And then when he comes back over here, 12th, 11th, 14th. Still working on that part. That part's kind of difficult. So he plays to that riff, and then this next progression is progression A twice, and progression B 4 times, and then that's repeated. So then after that, it's progression A twice, progression B 4 times again, and then there's progression A 2 more times, and then he plays the riff again, you know, and the entire riff again, and then this is near the end of the song. He puts his ring finger on the E string up here, well, on the 3rd fret, and his middle finger on the 3rd fret E string, and then the string right below it, the string you've tuned to a B, he has his ring finger on the 3rd fret, and he kind of like pushes down and lets up. And he plays that a few times. And then he ends it off with a slower progression A. And that's it. That's how you play Gold. I know this was a rather long video, but you know, I had to kind of explain. I had to explain how I got it. It's too great of a story. But please rate and comment. And if you were at the Philly show, or if you're going to be at the Radio City Music Hall show, let me know. And I'll see you later.